Hey everybody, welcome back to Build at Home. I'm your host, Brittany Jones Cooper, coming to you from my home in New York City. I am so excited to be chatting with the one, the only Grace Adler, Debra Messing. But before we bring her on the screen, I want to remind you guys about the campaign No Kid Hungry. There are a lot of kids who depend on school for food. And because of school cancellations due to the coronavirus, there's a lot of communities in need. In fact, 535 million school meals have gone unserved. So if you're looking for a way to help, if you want to donate, visit nokidhungry.org. And now I want to switch gears a little bit and welcome Debra Messing to Build at Home. Hi, Debra.
Hi there.
So what is going on? Where are you and where have you been social distancing?
I'm in New York City. I'm home and in my apartment and just taking it one day at a time, as I think everybody is, and just looking forward to 7 o'clock when I stick my head out the window and clap for all of our first responders and health workers.
Isn't that a beautiful moment every day? I will be doing anything and then you just hear the clapping and it just sort of brings you back to what's going on.
So beautiful. You know, this city often feels so big, and to just hear it echoing across the city, it really is beautiful.
Yeah, it's really powerful. So what have you been doing to sort of pass the time? And are you with your son? What have you guys been doing just to sort of keep from going stir crazy?
Yes. Well, we baked, and I say it like that because I can't even make a salad. So that was kind of a big deal. But I think we survived, and it definitely made us laugh. Lots of board games, yoga, trying to do a little meditation, playing on the piano. I downloaded a lifetime subscription to Babbel, thinking I would get my Spanish up to speed. Yeah, and of course, lots of streaming of TV and film.
How's the Spanish going?
Muy bien, gracias.
Bien. I know it's just such a crazy time. It's it's a lot of introspection, just trying to stay busy. I would imagine are you doing school from home too now?
Yeah, well, luckily his school is all set doing it online.
Good.
So they're having live classes, which is great. It's great finally they just started that this week, and to have some structure for his day, I think has made a big difference.
Absolutely. And I know I have you on the line, so I have to ask, today Bernie stepped down and now it's just Biden in the race. Yeah. Just what are your feelings about that as we kind of move forward into this next couple of months, which looks like it's just going to be dramatic and crazy?
I'm just incredibly grateful to Bernie for everything he's done for the progressive movement and for starting and maintaining the conversation. And I believe that he has had an enormous effect and will continue to. And I'm excited for us all to unify together because if not now, when? I think now, in the midst of this tragedy, I think it's more clear than ever that we need a change of leadership.
Mm-hmm. And I do like what you said. The key word is unity. We all have to come together now and move forward, whatever that means for you personally. But I think unity is the key word.
It's all about just getting him out of office.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. It's that simple.
It really is. We'll work out the details afterwards.
So in the intro, I mentioned we have Grace Adler here. I mean, I'm such a big fan of Will and Grace. I was so happy that the revival came back, and I got to view the I Love Lucy episode that is going to be coming out tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to the beginning of that, because first of all, the resemblance between you and Lucille Ball is pretty uncanny. So take me through the process of just putting on the wardrobe and becoming Lucille Ball.
It was really magical and surreal. It took about 3.5 hours. Wow. Elaine Offers, my makeup artist, spent at least a half hour glue sticking my eyebrows down. Her eyebrows are very identifiable, and so she got the old drag queen trick of 3 layers of glue stick and powder. And so once that was changed and she drew the eyebrows on, all of a sudden she started to appear, and then the lips, because her lips are very big and wide. And once that was on and they popped the wig on, I mean, literally people were screaming. Like, people walked into the makeup room and they just could not believe it. And I was looking and I'm like, I can't believe it. It was a testament to Elaine and Darlene, who did the wig, and Lori, who did the costuming. I mean, everybody really rose to the challenge, and I think every department deserves an Emmy for this episode. It's amazing.
It is so good. I remember seeing they released some press photos a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I couldn't stop looking at it. It's just, I've been waiting for this episode. And you guys nailed it. And it's based around a specific episode, the Vitamin Vegemin. So did you go back and watch, and what little mannerisms did you try to pull in, and just kind of what did you study in Lucille that you wanted to bring to your rendition of Lucille Ball?
Well, I only had a week to prepare it. We knew it was coming. We knew it wasn't going to be just a great replica of one full scene. We knew that we would be playing other characters as well. And so I got the script a week before, and then it was really a matter of just watching that scene over and over and over and over and over again, and then also listening to it just to hear the music of it. You know, the voice is much higher than mine, and just trying my best to be as detailed as possible. You know, the eyebrow raise and the head tilt, and the progression of her getting drunk, and then her, and then blotto, and what it revealed to me was just how different TV is now from the 50s, because that scene was 7.5 minutes.
Wow.
It is literally an opera, and it's essentially a monologue. And we would never do that in television today, ever. You don't get that kind of luxury to sort of sit into the comedy. And it felt very luxurious and just an enormous privilege. And then to have Lucy Arnaz, Lucy's daughter, there. After I finished Vitamin Vegemin, she came up and she was crying, and she hugged me, and it was everybody was crying. It was very emotional, because it was the first time in history that Lucy Arnaz and her brother gave anyone permission to replicate anything from that television show. Wow. So we knew that it was a huge privilege.
Why did they say they wanted to give you guys the opportunity to do it?
My understanding is that Lucy Arnaz felt like there was something that was kind of mirroring the 4 of them with the 4 of us. She felt like our style of comedy was the closest to their show, and that there were several sort of winks and nods throughout the series. And she just, for whatever reason, she trusted us. And she also loved that it was not a send up, that it was word for word their script, and shot for shot. And the Vitamin Vegemin bottle, it was the exact bottle that Lucy held.
What?
And there was only one.
Wow.
It had been in some storage for 60, 70 years, whatever. And our Jim Landis, our prop guy, was somehow able to get it. And when he handed it to me, he said, "This was Lucy's." And I just burst into tears.
That is so special and so cool, because the sets already are amazing replicas, but to know that there's actual pieces from the original show there, like the bottle, that's so cool.
Yes.
That is so unbelievably cool. So yeah, when I was watching it, and then I went back and I rewatched the episode of I Love Lucy, and it just made me think about where we are in TV. And like you said earlier, it sort of makes you realize how special TV was back then and how different it was. And so did you feel different playing to the audience? Because you're used to the live audience, but since you were doing I Love Lucy, did the audience react differently? Was it sort of a different energy in the room?
It was definitely a different energy. I think that our live audiences were always rabid Will and Grace fans and very ruckus and loud, and we would sort of play with the audience. And this time was different because we weren't playing our characters. We were playing these iconic characters.
Mhm.
And I think that the audience felt the reverence that we had for what we were doing. And they still laughed because, the chocolate factory seemed so funny. But I think they laughed in a way that was more sort of delight at seeing the magic show rather than the characters that they knew so well just sort of being themselves and making them laugh.
Absolutely. And these characters we love so much. And I can't believe that it's all sort of coming to an end soon, right? So the finale is coming up on the 23rd. So we just have a couple shows left.
Yeah, next.
How are we gonna wrap this up, Debra?
Really well, really, really well. I'm really proud of these last 2 episodes. I think that the last time we said goodbye, it was a little controversial because we jumped ahead 25 years and Will and Grace hadn't been speaking for quite a while. And this time we are staying in real time, and I really love it. I
Mm,
think that the fans will feel really gratified and happy with the way the writers wrapped up each one of the 4 characters. I think it's done in a very, no pun intended, graceful and respectful and complete way.
And what are your hopes and dreams for Grace Adler? I mean, you must care about this character so much.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that she um, has a beautiful baby and
Mhm.
is fulfilled by her new motherhood. That her work still inspires and challenges her, and when the right person comes into her life, that she is able to enjoy a new partner,
Mm.
and
And what were
obviously still uh, enjoying her chosen family of friends.
Absolutely. And with that chosen family of friends, what has it been like just coming to the end of all of this and just saying goodbye to the cast and the crew and all these people who I'm sure are like family to you now?
It was it was very different from the last time. The last time it was devastating
Yeah.
and mournful and scary because
Mm,
we had been enmeshed for 8 years and we didn't know what was going to happen. But because in the 12 years in between, um, each one of us did so many different things professionally and creatively. I think this time we're saying goodbye, and we know who we are as individual actors, and we know that we're going to go on and do things that are going to be fulfilling to
mm.
ourselves. And I think it's more saying goodbye with gratitude and joy. I think it was obviously sad to say goodbye, but I think there was sort of more joyful closure this time.
Mm, definitely. And with that said, what are you looking forward to next? Whether it's a project or even just anything, what are you sort of gonna focus on?
Well, when this coronavirus hit, I was in my second week of rehearsing for a brand new Broadway play called
Oh,
Birthday Candles,
wow.
and it's a spectacular play. And obviously, it was postponed, but I'm happy to say that the artistic director at the Roundabout said that he is so committed to this play that we are going to do it in the
Good,
fall. So
good.
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I hope to hear more of that. And there's so many amazing shows that are in the, in the process, and I hope we get to see them. I hope in the
Yeah,
fall these shows all come back, and I really look forward to seeing yours.
thank you.
In the meantime, you guys, you have to check out the I Love Lucy episode of Will and Grace tomorrow. It is so amazing. Again, I grew up watching I Love Lucy, and you nailed it. You all did. And then make sure you guys tune in for the finale of Will and Grace on April 23rd. Debra, thank you for all the laughs. Thank you for entertaining us during this pandemic, and I hope you are social distancing safely.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.